salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. My dear brothers and sisters, it's amazing the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and its structure. When you read in the Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in multiple verses in the Quran emphasize about jihad, sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will mention the means before the purpose, the cause, and sometimes will mention the cause before the means. And just to give you like an idea, for example, in Surah At-Tawbah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَهَاجَرُوا وَجَاهَدُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ أَعْظَمُ دَرَجَةً عِنْدَ اللَّهِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْفَائِزُونَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah At-Tawbah mentioned the cause before the means. So He praised those that are putting their struggle, the maximum of their effort in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To mention the cause first and then mention the means of that where they are giving in terms to fulfill their duties, all their properties and even their own souls. Another example in Surah Al-Anfal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never mention something first or last for no reason. As Surah Al-Anfal talking about money and dunya, and in order to testify that you don't want that attachment to dunya, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the means before the cause. Because in general context, talking about believers. But believers are differences. Some of them, they give the cause, whatever means, in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And there's no question of the intention. However, in Surah At-Tawbah, generally speaking, talking about the intention and the iman, and those are hypocrites, those are not, and the cause is very important to be clear. That's why in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, fi sabilillahi, before bi amwalihim wa anfusihim. Is that clear? Does that make sense? So everything's, in its place. However, in the entire Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talk about the means, He talked first about the means بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ before أَنفُسِهِمْ. There is no exception in this. Have you thought about this? بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ before أَنفُسِهِمْ. Why, with your money, before your soul, before your nafs? Why is that? Now you think of it, maybe in your mind you think it should be بِأَنفُسِكُمْ before أَمْوَالِكُمْ. Do not take me wrong. There is one verse, but that's not about the same structure. Allah said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُم. When it comes that when you're dealing with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you seek in Jannah, yes, you should give first your nafs before your mal. إِنَّ اللَّهَ اشْتَرَى مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَنفُسَهُمْ وَأَمْوَالَهُم. But talking about general in jihad, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, بِأَمْوَالِهِمْ وَأَنفُسِهِمْ. Why is that? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it easier for us. It's not everybody is capable to do jihad with his nafs. However, what's our excuse is not making jihad with our money, with our all other means. You get the point? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be included in that. If we started with nafs, it's not that easy. Who's among us will be capable to do that? Sometimes we cannot make it for different reasons. Yes, that we wish to do something in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is that right? That blind man came to the Prophet ﷺ after he heard the ayah. Allah revealed in the Quran, لا يستوي القاعدون من المؤمنين والمجاهدون في سبيل الله. They are not equal. Those are sitting back, doing nothing, not doing their effort among the believers, and those are sacrificing everything in the sake of Allah. لا يستوي القاعدون من المؤمنين والمجاهدون في سبيل الله. They are not equal. A blind man came to the Prophet. He said, how about us? He was exempt. He has an excuse. How about us? And in the same time, when that verse revealed, Jibreel came again and the verse revealed again. and made exception for those people. And Allah, revealed لا يستوي القاعدون من المؤمنين غير أولي الضرر والمجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم. It's amazing. This is one of the rare positions and rare time when just part of the verse revealed. It's not the whole verse. Usually, a whole verse or verses is 5 verses or 10 verses or sometimes the whole surah. But that's one of the very rare occasions that when just part of the verse revealed by itself. The first revealed without that exception, then revealed with the exception. Allah said, لا يستوي القاعدون من المؤمنين غير أولي الضرر or غيره to رواية أولي الضرر من غير الضرر والمجاهدون في سبيل الله بأموالهم وأنفسهم. Now asking ourselves, what our excuse is not making jihad with our possible means? With your mal, with your money, in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sacrificing whatever you do in the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is in the Quran. Now when I say jihad, some people terrified, jihad, and even some of us name their children jihad, and they have issues, especially when they go to the airport. His name jihad, Jihad from jahd, from استفراغ الجهد في الوصول وتحقيق المقصود. That to do your possible ways to reach your goal. That's a jihad. It's not like when it comes to your mind, jihad just fighting. No. It's all of that jihad. Your struggle for excellence, to do your best with any possible means. Sometimes, yes, to have to fight if somebody transgresses, against you, or being enforced with that. There's sometimes that, but not all of it is there. In fact, the Prophet ﷺ, in one of the occasions after the battlefield, he went back and he was saying that we like in symbol, meaning that they were in the Jihad al-Asghar, and now we are going to Jihad al-Akbar. This minimum form of jihad, or a minor form of jihad. Now it's the major form of jihad, to struggle with yourself, to discipline yourself, to do your possible ways to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's think of that. It's very important that all of us, we do any possible means. Sometimes we say, we have nothing to do. No, there are many things that we can do. There are many things we can do. There are different forms of jihad. Jihadul kalima, jihadul fikr, jihadul mal. There's different types of jihad. And this is, the essence of Islam. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala only will question you the things that in your means. Nowadays, when somebody talk about jihad, oh no, it's scary, something, no. This is something wrong. No. This is part of our deen. This is from the Quran. This is from the Sunnah. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we should not limit it to jihad as people think, just in times of the war or something like that. No, we are in a constant jihad, struggling for excellence and striving for the best. That's how is Muslims always making mujahada and jihad. يا الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا يا الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. This is the jihad. يا الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us all, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those that are trying their best to please Him. Ameen. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا